So occasionally when you have a YouTube channel, you kind of need to go back and see what videos you have that are being watched or that are popular or that pop back up and say top 10 or in your analytics again. There's a couple of those that pop up occasionally on mine. One of them is the cheapest PC I bought, or cheapest gaming PC I think it was, I bought on Amazon. That was a couple years ago. By the way, that computer, I think I bought it for like $150. It's living a nice happy life in an AC contractor's office, doing very well. The other video that keeps popping back up is on this. It's a Quadro 4200 NVIDIA. Pretty good card for its day. Very good in design drawings, CAD drawings, stuff like that. But we tested it in gaming back in September 24. It's not September 24 anymore. Let's give it another shot. Okay, so as I made mention, this was the last set of drivers for this. I didn't mention the last set of drivers, but the last time we tested this was in September 24, and that's because the drivers that came out were the last set of drivers. We didn't know it was going to be the last drivers for it at the time, but they came out in about July of 24. Went ahead and tested on a Intel i7-12700 KF. It had 32 gig of memory. The only big difference now is that we've got, this is on a DDR5 platform instead of DDR4. So will it make much of a difference? I don't know. There weren't any more up-to-date drivers. Turns out they are the last drivers. But I wanted to see if some of the newer games might have slipped through the cracks, or might have, gotten some updates somewhere along the way, just generic NVIDIA updates that might have allowed some of these games to play. And to kind of give you a hint, over my shoulder here, that's me editing this video because the sound was so horrible I've recorded this like 3 or 4 extra times. In any case, we're going to take a look at some of those results to see if they were any better. Spoiler alert, not really. We'll start out with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and there is a slight improvement, although it's not very much. It's slightly better. We did not test 1440 last time. We are testing it this time. You can tell that it just, a couple of frames here or there, nothing really much. Can we attribute that to the DDR5 memory instead of DDR4? Probably not. I was running, I think, DDR4 at 3600. I'm running DDR5 at 5600. Say that 3 times fast. Anyway, I don't think it's enough of a bump to really make a huge deal, and maybe that it shows just a little bit of the difference. When we're running Borderlands 3, a very similar deal here, just a little bit better. Still no 1440 numbers last time because we only tested in 1080p. The 1080p numbers are slightly better, not markedly better, and I still think you're better off playing this on, say, 720p or 900p, or just stick to what this card was designed for. With Cyberpunk, we did notice last time that we had some issues when the default for this is FSR 2.1. And when you try to leave it on that default, you get a blank screen with a couple of particle effects mixed in just for flavor. It does go through the benchmark, but this is, first of all, nowhere near a playable frame rate, and obviously you can't see the screen. So when you do take that off, it kills both of those. You can see it, but again, the frame rate is going to be quite horrible. So this is just simply not playable at 1080p and obviously not 1440p. So it doesn't really do us any good at all. Again, we're stuck to lower. It's only got 4 gig of memory, and older drivers. So 1440p is right out. 1080p is also right out. And I would say stick to 720p or 900p. Now, the reason why I keep saying maybe we ought to try something different is because this card, you can still find it on eBay for probably between 25 and 35 bucks. So if this is your backup plan, then it might work out. Keep in mind it does take external power, and it takes about 100 watts of power. So it does need external. It's not just a freebie in there, like if you're trying to use your old 1030 or 710 or something like that, one of those that doesn't require external power. Got around to CS2. Now, we did test CS2 last time because it had swapped over to DX11. It did worse this time. It didn't do great last time, but at least it was almost playable. This time it did worse. And again, if you end up having to use this for more than its design purpose, you're not going to be doing a lot of gaming on this card. In fact, kind of to prove that point, some of the newer games I've been adding into the benchmarks, like Black Myth Wukong, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Marvel Rivals, are a no, and no way. Just not going to do it. All three of them gave me some kind of message about the driver not being updated. In one case, it was a driver not being updated, and it gave me a specific driver to look for, which is not compatible. And the other two cases, it told me that either the card wasn't compatible or the driver wasn't compatible. Some form of those messages. So this, obviously, we don't have current drivers that would allow us to play those games. And I don't think that the performance of those would be very much worth it anyway. We would have a hard time trying to play these. And really, if you're going to spend, maybe $30 or $40, maybe we ought to just try to find, I don't know, an RX 574 gig or an RX 584 gig or a 480 something. You'd probably be able to find one of those fairly inexpensive that would have a better chance of playing some of these games than this one. Now, keep in mind, those AMD cards they're losing their support too. You're not going to be able to find support for those either, but maybe you have a little bit better a chance than you would with this card. And it's not really designed for gaming, but I figured I would go ahead and take another look because it was one of those videos that kept popping up, and I thought maybe it's worth giving an update about. It's a good card. I like it. It's a single slot. It's really cool looking, very quiet. It doesn't ramp up like a lot of the blower style fans would be on some of these cards. Anybody that remembers the old reference, I believe it was the reference 1070 and 1080 from NVIDIA that had the blower style motor on it, or some of the old, like the RX 5700 that AMD had with a blower style motor, those could get kind of loud. So, but this is not. It's pretty quiet, but it's just not up there. Anyway, so I thought I'd go ahead and test it because it does keep showing up. I am doing other stuff. Obviously, I'm re-recording this video because it didn't work out so well the last time, but hopefully we got it going this time. If the sound is bad, I apologize. I can't keep re-recording this just to try to get it out. And I've got another mic that's, I'm ordering another mic. We're just having to make do with what we got in the meantime until I get that replaced. So if you got anything on the video, go ahead and throw a like on it if you don't mind. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please do. That would be great. Trying to make that push. We're trying to go ahead and make that push to 2,000 and 3,000 and keep on going and just turn something into it, okay? So I would really, really appreciate it. So take a moment and click that button if you don't mind. Don't forget to visit me on the other socials. But if you don't do any of that, just do me one favor, and that's be good to each other. We all need that a little bit this time of year especially, and it's kind of weird times. So just smile, wave, hold the door open. Just the little things. Being kind is free. It shouldn't take a company policy target to get somebody to be kind and do simple kindness things. Y'all have to Google that one. I ain't getting in that argument. Anyway, I've got other stuff going on, like a totally unnecessary laptop upgrade and a few other things that are just something I got no business getting into. But until that happens, that's all I got. So I'll see you later.